What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's Thursday, and Savage Talk with Keefa is back on. Yes, we are. And let me tell you why I'm so excited. Not only do we have a dope show, I got some great things to talk about. But look, I have a very, very special in-studio guest. When I tell y'all that the person sitting next to me, when I tell y'all that this is one of my great friends I've known for a very long time, which to me, you guys that listen to my show, you know how important this is to me, right? My friends are part of my universe. And in order to be my friend, you got to have a high amount of integrity, transparency, and authenticity. And with that, my friend, Israel Hollywood Korn is in the building with me.
What's up?
Hollywood.
Keefa,
Hollywood.
I appreciate that intro. You are just very special to me. I've known you long time, like one of the OG members of your gym.
Yes.
One of the OG members. And, I just feel very grateful. And whenever I think of a woman, I'm just like someone tough, someone independent, someone that can set their mind and do anything. Definitely you come to mind.
Oh,
so just nice words.
I could actually cry a little bit, but I don't want to mess up my makeup.
Yeah, that.
So look, you guys, those of y'all, before I even start, let me start with the housekeeping. Because you're listening to 101 TKO Radio. We're knocking them out the box always and always. So if you want, you can call in. You can call in live to the studio. You can talk to me. You can talk to Hollywood, 678-439-7419. Or you can go to YouTube right now and tune in live, Savage Talk with Keefa, and all our shenanigans. So look, Hollywood.
Yes.
You guys that are watching, that are tuning in, you don't know how Hollywood got his name Hollywood, right? We actually lovingly, when I say we, myself and other folks at CrossFit Icons, we lovingly dubbed Israel Hollywood because if you need to know all of the insider secrets, how to break into acting, how to not only break into acting, but how to ensure that you have a camera-ready face and body, Hollywood is the one to talk to, okay? Mm-hmm. This is important, right? Am I lying, Hollywood?
No, you're not. You're speaking facts.
I'm speaking facts. You guys probably can't tell, but Hollywood is number one. Check the face, okay? The card does not decline. You guys already know that. Number two, what you can't see is Hollywood is definitely one of the strongest men that I know. And let me tell you why that's important. Because not only in Hollywood do you need to have a camera-ready body, right? But you want to have longevity. All right. A lot of the actors you see they out there taking all kind of drugs to get the bodies they want, or what they do is real quickly they get in shape for a movie, i.e. all of the men of 300. Mm-hmm. They get in shape for a movie, and then 6 months after that movie, you see them in something else, or just, a TMZ video, and they looking crazy. The gut is hanging out, the butt is hanging out, everything is just looking,
droopy.
Can't have droopy. That. So Hollywood, not only has he successfully maintained a body that's Hollywood ready, he's actually super duper intelligent. So that's what we're going to be talking about while he's here. And we only have a short amount of time because he actually has an audition to go to. Now, let me ask you, is that something you can talk about?
A little bit, yeah. So they actually had me sign a NDA.
Okay.
And so I will tell you a little bit of what I can say about it. It's being filmed in Atlanta, and Atlanta's blowing up. I mean, it is definitely the Hollywood of the South. With all these new studios that they have here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So this one, how do I say this without saying this? I will tell you this. It's there's different universes. Like we have Batman, we have all the different.
There's Spidey.
Spidey senses, or Spider-Man. This is one of the universes. I'll leave it at that.
See, I already like it because
I'll leave
see,
it
when
at
you
that.
tell me a universe,
Uh-huh.
y'all know I'm crazy.
Mhm.
I can come up with all kind of alternative universes. And when I hear universe, I hear powers. I hear imagination. Whatever I can imagine, I can see on the screen.
You're hearing right. So they're rebooting a lot of these. They're rebooting
Oh my
a lot
God.
of things.
Y'all, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm at the age where reboots is good.
Yeah.
Like I'm at the age where I saw the original. Okay, I seen the original, and now listen, because we have artificial intelligence. You guys already are familiar with CGI. Remember when CGI was trash? And then when Avatar came out, it was like, okay, it's getting good.
I mean, that melted my mind.
Like, right.
I'm like, how do they do that?
Exactly. But now we have the ability to take it to the next level. Okay. So with that being said, so I'm going to ask Hollywood some stuff, right? His name is Hollywood. I'm going to ask some Hollywood questions. So some of them might get Hollyweird. But he's already agreed. He's going to answer.
I will.
He's going to answer.
It just lets you guys, I don't know any of the questions she's going to ask me, so I'm curious how Hollow-weird is going to get. But I'll answer.
Yeah, well, it'll be PG friendly.
Oh, okay.
For sure. So not too weird. Okay. Not as weird as I could get.
Yeah, okay.
We already know. But okay, so anyway, now let's imagine back when you first knew you were gonna do something Hollywoodish. Mm-hmm. What was that? Because I know what it was, but I want you to tell the listeners and those of y'all watching.
Yeah.
Tell them how that unfolded. What was it?
Okay, so I remember the very first thing is so a little background about me is my father. He's a Jewish guy from New York, and my mom is a small, like fiery Panamanian woman. And so I had a bar mitzvah, right? And it's like $2,500. And like $2,500 when you're like 14,
let me get some. Can I hold a little something?
I know, right? I was like, when you're $14, like I'm like, look, Mama, you don't need to work no more. Like I got enough for us to survive. And then we sat down, we talked, and then they had one of these like the advertisements you see on the radios or the TV saying that like, hey, you come to this acting school, and like we can help you become the next big star.
Yeah, most of them are fake, but yeah.
You heard it. You heard it live. You heard it live. But I fell for it. I didn't know. I didn't have anyone to teach me or anything like this. So a lot of the things I've learned is trial and error. And when we went there, I remember it was $2,500. It was exactly the amount of money that I had for that bar mitzvah, but I wanted it so bad. And I was so curious. And I've always had the mindset, like, I don't want to be on my deathbed wondering what if.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was $2,500 well spent because I got to be able to have the good relationships. And I didn't get an agency out of that. I got some extra work, which I'm like, at the time you think extra work is like something big, it's something really cool.
Right, like you're going to get noticed. Like all of a sudden, the camera's going to pan and you're like, oh, we need you for our next.
But I have had it where an extra got bumped up to a guest starring role on a CW show. So it has happened. It is rare, but it has happened. Like one of the actresses didn't show up from LA. She had the same look and it was a one-liner. And they said, hey, can you read this? And she met with the director, actually read the line. She got it.
Wow.
That's a freak thing. But back to that. So when I did, it's called JRP, John Robert Powers. And
I remember, oh my God.
Remember that? It was in Comedy Square.
I remember John Robert Powers.
Remember that?
Yeah, because that was back when I was in Cali.
Uh-huh.
And I remember they used to run little ads in the newspaper also. And you didn't need listen, I did a little bit of acting, but nothing actually materialized. Well, I did a lot of extra work, but not anything that you guys would see me on. But John Robert Powers,
remember,
that was kind of how I got my start losing my first little bit of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll have to tell you about that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you about that.
So I spent the money there. I went there. My teacher, like you got John Robert Powers, and then you have actually legit teachers in the school. And I'm not saying the school isn't legit or the teachers aren't legit whatsoever, but you can get the same product, but for cheaper. It should be $2,500. Like acting school now is probably maybe $100 to $200 a month. That's pretty reasonable in Atlanta. But did that. My teacher was David Matthew Barnes, and he's actually a novelist. And I was in a lot of his theater plays. And he had a showcase in Oglethorpe, and I auditioned. I got the part, and that kind of just what sparked it for me. After that, I Googled everything. I was like, hey, what kind of agencies?
Lord, Google was out back then.
Google was there.
Like when I was doing it, y'all, it was no Google.
Luckily, I had Google. So I Googled agencies, and I saw over in Snellville, like where I'm from, that there was an agency called J Purvis.
Okay.
And this was J Purvis from like the OG J Purvis, and the one in charge was Jamie Purvis and Joy Purvis.
Okay, I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, so
are they still around?
Oh yeah, I mean like those are the top 5 agencies in the Southeast. And
so I had no idea. So let's explain to the folks that's listening. With agencies, do you and we'll get back to how he started because it really is a cool story. Would you say now that people still need agencies with YouTube, with becoming an influencer on IG?
Absolutely.
Now, why? Explain. Why do so? If I'm somebody that I'm an influencer, let's say I have 200,000 followers. I don't. But for the younger folks who are on IG like that, let's say they have 200,000 followers. Why do I need an agent?
Because agents are good in the sense that they make money when you make money. So like you're never going to pay money up front. But if someone reaches out to you, I'll use this example for this film, right? So for this film, they have the producers, and the producers will hire casting directors. And casting directors, they don't have open calls or anything like that. They'll send something out called on Breakdown Express. That's that's what they use is Breakdown Express. And to have access to those, I don't know, for lack of better words, the castings that are going on, you have to be an agency part of that. It's like a union or something like that.
Okay.
So if you want access to that, you have to have an agent. You can't just submit yourself.
So but I feel like, and this is probably what a lot of influencers and people that want to be actors that are popular on social media, this is probably what a lot of them are thinking.
But they have new divisions now.
Oh, yeah?
For influencers. And so if you're an influencer, like I believe like CAA, like the ones Brad Pitt's with, Angelina Jolie, William Morris Endeavor, like those big agencies, they have things dedicated to influence because influencers, I mean, they're everything this day and age.
They are, but check this out. This is what I say about influencers. I've talked about this on the show. With artificial intelligence now, influencers will eventually go by the wayside in terms of corporations paying influencers to help them sell products. Because now with artificial intelligence and the thing called deep fake, now
that scares me.
But I want you to imagine that they're not stealing someone's likeness, but actually creating a whole new persona that is truly the persona of their ideal client that they're trying to sell to. And they created totally a whole new person.
Yeah.
They don't need influencers anymore.
I believe it.
So influencers, you guys hear me? Influencers are going to go by the wayside.
I believe it. I've seen some of these Instagram accounts, these women, they're just beautiful and they just get followers just because they're doing a little bit of twerking, a little something they shouldn't be doing on there.
Right, exactly.
But I saw one and it was actually entirely AI generated. The entire account. And they probably had 100, 150,000.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. So the people who are making money as an influencer, and that's their claim to fame, and they are making money unboxing gifts and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to be
just here for
away.
a season.
I think so. But go back to getting your start because it's really cool. If you guys saw my reel that I posted, that's a sneak peek. I put a couple pictures in there so you can see a little bit of Hollywood's history. But so share that story because really, I want to know if you still get royalties. I mean, if you could answer, you don't have to.
I still get royalties on a Nickelodeon show.
Now listen, who doesn't need royalties?
Yeah. Remember,
I told you guys just on Tuesday to start getting the domain names, the .ais. Okay, imagine having a .ai that you purchase now when it's cheap, and then in 2 years someone needs that .ai domain, and you can sell it, make money on it, or you actually can lease it to them
You can do that?
and get royalties. Heck yeah.
Wow.
If you own something, you can do whatever you want to do.
I've never thought about that.
That's right.
Oh, shit.
Just like with Airbnbs, you have people that arbitrage. They never truly own the Airbnbs, but they actually lease a whole bunch of them at wholesale prices, and then rent them out to the Airbnb people at retail.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, and that's how they make their money. You can do that with .ai domains, y'all. Okay, so yeah. So, okay, tell us about that.
Yeah. And anyone viewing this, I'm also telling the story just to make sure, like, I made a lot of mistakes of things I probably didn't have to spend money on, or I just didn't have the avenue. So what I'm telling you now, you could, use it. Use my, what am I forgetting to say? Experiences.
No, well, you talked about the casting agency. Yeah. So listen, that is, you guys us listening, write that down. Maybe you have a child or something that you think will be a great actor or actress, or whatever. You think they'll read for different projects well. The agency's what's the agency again?
One of them, Jay Purvis.
Jay Purvis.
Houghton Talent.
How do you spell it? Houghton.
Houghton.
Houghton Talent. Yeah, so you guys write that down. And while I have Hollywood here, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments so that I could answer while we have him here in the studio, because he does have his audition coming up. So he's going to have to book in a little bit. But okay, so this is why they need agents, right? To get them. Remember, you guys, I'll also talk about getting in front of people that you normally wouldn't have access to. So think about your agent is someone you are collaborating with. I'm always talking about collaborations and partnerships. Your agent you're in collaboration and partnership with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the agent can help you get in front of an audience that you wouldn't normally have access to, i.e. movie.
And the agent only makes money when you make money.
And you cannot beat that. They only make money when you make money. So what does that mean? If somebody says, hey, I can hook your child up for some movies, you only need to pay us $2,500 to get started, then that's a big no.
You don't have to do that. No.
You do not need to do that, you guys. Your money would be better invested
in headshots, enrolling in acting school, just really investing in yourself. That's the best way that money can be spent. Just being the best version. So when you get in front of those agents, you can showcase what your abilities are, and when they sign you, that's how you get the opportunities.
You guys, look. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Stick around, because I'm going to bring this back home for y'all with what I'm talking about with your business and all of that and AI and everything. So you're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back. So I hope y'all didn't go anywhere because we really are like we're blessed today because Hollywood is here. He's dropping the gems.
Mm-hmm.
So for all of you that have children who want to get on the CW, all of these shows that are being filmed here in Georgia, in Atlanta, Tyler Perry stuff, you know, it is no shortage of work if you have the right agencies and you have the right partnership and collaboration. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. You know, before the break, I said I'm gonna bring it back around so that you can see everything that I share with you guys. It always it is rooted in authenticity and transparency. And even with acting, the actors that we love, what we love about them is not that they're great actors. We actually love them portraying somebody else, but it's the thing that makes them that we connect to and that we actually love. That is the reason why we can watch them in many different type of roles and still have the love and the passion for that specific actor. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. So basically what you're saying is that we got to perfect that being who we are. We got to be true to ourselves. And that makes a lot of sense. Like when I think about it, you got Johnny Depp, you got Bradley Cooper, and when they walk into a room, like you know what you're getting. Like maybe they got that southern twang, or they just got like, I don't know, that just like the way
it's something.
It's just something about it when they come in. And that's a struggle that no one ever taught me that. I just had to learn that over 10 years. And I'm like, oh, all these times I would go to auditions, I would try to be the character on there without being me.
Right.
Like,
and it's not possible to even be authentic if you're not in it.
Exactly.
So I hope you guys get that because we're talking about acting, but it's no different with anything else that you do. You have to be connected. But so this is real important. I don't want to forget this point. We were talking about it during the break. With an agency, the agency is your partner. That is who you're collaborating with.
Yeah.
And that agency, like, are there different types of agencies that represent different type of movies? So a person should be like, okay, don't go to this agency, but I should probably go to this one because they represent.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, there's certain agencies, and they'll know that. You can go to the website, do a little bit of research on them. There's some that specialize in dance. There's some that specialize in TV, movies. Those are typically put together. There's some that just do theater productions. There's agencies that do anything. You can think about anything, but the big ones, they typically, like my agency, they do commercial and television and film. But commercials, that's where a lot of the money's made in agencies.
And then check this out, y'all. If you have a voice.
Oh, voiceover.
Right. There's money in voiceovers.
Yeah.
There is money in voiceovers. Yeah. So you guys, do y'all remember A Different World? You remember the TV show, A Different World? And remember Freddie? Yeah, you remember Freddie? She has made so much money doing voiceovers for different cartoon characters. And I promise you, if it wasn't for the residuals of A Different World, and I don't know how much she's making from residuals, but what I do know is she ain't broke. That's right. She ain't broke. And her voice, the ability to just do multiple different characters with her voice will ensure that she always has a job, irrespective of how old her face looks, how old her body looks. So she does. That's one of the things that there's no age discrimination.
That is true. I've never thought about that. Yeah, the voiceover stuff, I've never tried that personally, so I don't feel like I can give anyone advice on what they should do. But I can tell you this, that like I know a couple of my friends do voiceovers, and they just like they got like they hired some kind of like producer to produce some a demo reel for them for their voice, and they just submit that to agencies. And then every time they get an audition, they'll just say, "Hey, read these lines," and they'll go to the studio, read it, send it in.
Listen, y'all. So that's probably something that I would look into. And also, I was talking about the middle-aged women. sports stuff. Okay, like that's kind of my arena. So if there's an agency that is for that are in the sports, like look, I can act the heck out of some Aspercream and some what's the other, the Bengay and the BioFreeze and all of the stuff that's for the joints and the collagen. Give me the lines. I can handle that all day.
There you go. But I'll tell you this, like when you say that's actually to your benefit, because when you're in shape, it's like it's something you got to bring something unique to the table. And I mean, I can speak for men. Like as you get a little older, sometimes we don't always stay as in shape as we want. And so when you're 50 years old and you're a guy and you're still in great shape, when that audition comes in, your competition is going to be near none. So the probability of you getting it is even more. So if you feel like you're too old and you shouldn't do it, no. You absolutely have to do it. And I encourage you to Google actors that made it after 40, with Morgan Freeman being one of them.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman. And he's probably about 180 right now.
I know. I couldn't imagine Hollywood without Morgan Freeman.
Me either. And then not only that, his voice. Yeah, he's making so much with just his voice now.
None of the movies would have a God. Because he plays God in every single movie. Because
he looked like God. He old enough to be God. I'm just saying. I love you, Morgan. Mr. Freeman. Love you long time. I'm just saying. He really didn't make it famous until Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, man.
Right? Or something like that. And he was probably like 70 in Shawshank Redemption.
He?
I don't know, but he just looked like it. I don't know, because he had bad smoker teeth, and he had that white hair for a long time until he shaved it off. I mean, he only just recently, in the last couple of years, got his teeth fixed.
Oh, okay. Look at this. Did he?
Yeah, and since he likes younger women, they probably told him, look, you know, first of all, go get your teeth whitened, shave that white hair off, and go get them pills we was talking about. No, I'm just
okay. Look at this. Okay, so actors after 40 that became famous. We got Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Okay, you got Kathy Bates.
What?
Steve Carell. Jake Gyllenhaal for a few.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
And so, like, everyone out there, you feel like, oh, I'm too old.
Career in front of me.
That's true failure right there, is quitting.
That's true. And we're not quitters.
So you never fail.
So I'm going to make a commitment to Hollywood.
Oh, what is it? Hit me with it.
And Nelson is going to be our de facto witness that was signed on the dotted line and notarized.
Okay.
I'm going to get me an acting job.
Okay.
Doing a commercial for something age appropriate.
Okay.
Okay. Now it might be Bengay.
Okay, right?
It might be some facial collagen stuff, because I could do those commercials too.
Neutrogena?
You know, Neutrogena, Pond's. Y'all remember Pond's?
I don't know that.
Pond's was like cold cream.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't even think these kids don't even know what cold cream is.
What do you mean, like the cold sore?
It's like Noxzema. No, like Noxzema.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in the cold sore commercial.
Like, no, thank you. We don't pass on that.
Oh, you always see those pharmaceutical commercials. You're like, oh yeah, I have a.
But listen, if they give me some money, I'm gonna do it.
That's true.
Yeah. But no, cold cream is like Noxzema.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I didn't even do Noxzema, but so okay, but
okay. So let's say you want to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So I would tell you to do this. I would get some headshots.
Okay.
Some headshots and anything to show up that physique of what you want to portray, that image to them. And then I would find a commercial agency. Commercial agencies, they have divisions of fitness models. And fitness models come in all shapes and sizes, all different age ranges, and you could be on the roster. So when it comes over with someone with your demographics, your age, all that stuff, they will shoot your photo over there and they will call you in.
You heard that?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it from the source, y'all. So I'm making a commitment.
Okay.
I'm making a commitment. And Hollywood know whatever I say I'm going to do.
You got Nelson's notarizing it right now.
I do it. Okay. And I'm not talking about deep fake. I'm talking about the real me. Now, after the real me makes money, then I'll create some deep fake to go collect some more money. But I'm just saying, this is a start. So if, let's say, Mecca's 11. Okay. I have an 11-year-old daughter, and, Zani's 17. Mm-hmm. Let's say I want to get Mecca into acting.
17?
He's 17.
That's crazy.
And he's killing them hurdles.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah.
How
I'll
tall
show
is
you
he
the
now?
video. 6 feet.
Okay. Is he like?
No.
Oh, he's
You
skinny.
know, he don't want to lift. That's his problem. He don't want to lift.
Mecca lifts.
Mecca lifts,
Okay.
yeah. Zonnie just want to talk about lifting. But like a lot of people that go to the gym, standing around, they just want to talk. But okay, so let's say I want to get Mecca into acting.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the first step?
First thing I would do is I would sign up for acting school.
Okay, so you think it's necessary? What do people actually get from acting school? Do they learn how to memorize lines?
This is what I say. You get comfortable being uncomfortable. So when you go to that room, they're going to give you these lines, and regardless of anything, people say they're not nervous. When you're in a room with 15 people and you're supposed to be in a vulnerable state of doing that scene, you get nervous. And when you get nervous, you can't really truly portray who you want to be.
Not if I have to remember a line. If I can't improvise, it's a wrap.
Yeah, we're not improvising here. You have to memorize those lines, so don't go blank. You got to stay in character and all that stuff. And you learn different methods of like, what if you do go blank? Like, how can you improvise this? Or what do you do when they give you a script and you're doing a cold read? Like, just getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And they actually show you a lot of techniques, like the Miser technique. And that's a lot about action reaction. Like, you can say a line, say like, hey, how are you? And then I can say, hey, how are you? And I will react to you based on how you react to me. So when we do a scene, no two scenes will be alike, because you could be real pissed off at me.
So let's do an example.
Yeah.
So do I repeat the same?
No.
That method, do I just respond, or do I say the same line in a different
we just do a line. I could just say like, just say, how are you doing? And I'm going to say, I'm doing good. And then based on like how you say it, I'm going to respond.
Okay. So, hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Now do it like you're mad.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. And so like that stuff right there, just like feeling more comfortable, because when you're in, like when they say action and you're in the scene, you don't know what the other actor's going to do or actress is going to do. Like, they could really feel a moment, and you just got to just pause and just like take it in and just say,
okay,
I'm good.
So now tell me if I'm crazy.
Yeah. No, you're not.
No.
Oh shoot. No.
I am.
Yes, I will tell you.
But tell me if this is crazy.
Okay.
As an actor, do you, like, if you're watching something and you appreciate that actor and how he just did that particular scene, do you try to do it yourself, like in the mirror, to see how? Okay, because I do that, and I'm not an actor.
No.
But it's fun.
Well, that means we're both a little crazy.
Yeah,
not everyone
it's
does
fun.
That. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love telling stories in school, and I would look in the mirror and I would look at my face inflections and how I did my eyes.
Me too.
Just so I could be a better storyteller. I could just be in here and be like, I'm like, the craziest thing happened to me, guys. And it's just like,
and kids love that.
They do.
Especially if you're reading the kids. They're like, yeah, but you know what, you guys, check this out. Grown-ups are the same way. They love when people tell stories and are really sharing the feeling and the passion of the story, not just the words.
And if you can't get their attention, you just take some clothes off.
Okay, hey, aspirin cream for the, you know what? Okay, listen, if y'all know somebody with aspirin cream, if you know somebody with BioFreeze, with Bengay, with any blue emu oil, all of that stuff, let them know you got somebody that can do the commercial. Y'all remember blue emu oil?
Emu oil? What is this stuff?
Listen, when you get to a certain age, you'll try everything.
Man,
just so you can keep going.
Like, is emu oil, is that for joints?
Yeah.
Does it have that like burning sensation? Okay.
Yeah, it's got menthol.
Emu.
Yeah, blue emu.
I'm gonna check that out.
All of that stuff. Listen, y'all, the thing is, when you work out, everything is going to be sore. And when you get to a certain age, everything is going to be sore. That's okay, though. You still keep going. You don't let that stop you. You still keep going. Sometimes you put on BioFreeze or whatever. Sometimes you put on knee sleeves, elbow sleeves. Sometimes you put on lidocaine patches. Whatever you have access to, put it on and get to work, because nobody else cares that you hurt.
No.
Right. Okay. So we've talked about getting the agency, y'all. We've talked about different age groups, really, which is so cool because I'm a master's age. Hollywood is young man's age. My daughter, we talked about, is 11. So we really have talked about multiple generations getting into acting.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The theme is this: authenticity, transparency. That doesn't change. Okay, that's number one. Number two, finding the right agency is finding the right collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just like when you own a business and you're finding your tribe, you're finding the people that you resonate with. Okay, you want to be with an agency
Mm-hmm.
that you resonate with and that resonates with you.
Oh, and can I add on something?
Absolutely.
It's like with the agencies talking about resonation. The biggest is not always the best for you. So we always want to say, "Oh, I want to be with the best agency." If they're not excited about you, you'll just sit.
Like with music.
Exactly, you're just sit. So it's better to find a boutique agency that someone truly believes in you, and they just know the diamond that you are, and they will get you out there. And I have booked jobs through a small boutique agency as opposed to being with the biggest events.
Yeah, you know what, y'all? It's kind of like a relationship. You can get with that person that everybody wants, right? And they halfway want you.
But we're talking about actual relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Or you can get with the person that wants you bad, that really is going to put everything into you.
Mm-hmm.
But see, sometimes, ladies, I'm talking to y'all, sometimes you want to get with the one just because he's popular, just because he's this or that, but he don't feel that way about you. So you need to be getting with the one that feels all of that for you. And let the other one be.
Not the one with BDE.
I'm telling you, that's the thing. Yeah, because you know what? And I'm talking to the ladies. You can get with that guy who halfway wants you, because guess what? He gonna get with you. He ain't gonna turn you down. But what's gonna happen is you ain't gonna get everything you deserve and everything you want from that relationship. In fact, you probably ain't even gonna get a relationship from it. You're just gonna end up being mad and you're gonna end up being resentful. When what you should have done, you know what I'm saying. That's Ebonics. What you should have done was get with the one who absolutely wants to give you the world. That's the boutique agency, y'all.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Mm.
And sometimes when you get with the boutique agency, they really are going to go above and beyond what even your agreement says, because they believe in you and they see something in yourself that you may not even see for your own self.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fact?
It is facts. And when they open that door for you, it's a symbiotic relationship. They've worked and pitched you, you work your butt off, and you memorize those lines. You go to acting school, you do what they tell it, and you try your hardest. Promise you, good things will happen.
Well, so how do you memorize your lines?
I'm the worst. I'm literally the worst. I think I have short-term memory loss. I'll forget. Oh, can I tell a quick story? 30-second story. We got time? Okay. So I did this show on Nickelodeon called Hollywood Heights, and this was my first legit gig where it was part of the union. I think they were. It was before SAG and after combined, and then it's like great. They said your call time's at 8 a.m. I go to 8 a.m. and they pick me up in a golf cart in the studio. I think it was like the Warner Brothers studio. They go to golf cart and I go to a trailer and my name's on there. I'm like,
what?
I called my mom. I was like, Mom, we made it. We made it. We made it. I was like, thank you so much. Because I was couch surfing, all this stuff. I'm just like, I made it. It was a little premature. We made it. But in the moment that day, I thought I made it because it was only going to just domino effect from there. And then it was a club scene. And so there's a lot of extras there. And there's like maybe 40, 50 extras. And then the scene was like the main cast, they walk through and I'm supposed to like recite a line. I'm like, you're huge. You're going to be like Kesha meets Taylor Swift huge. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm just like, but that's like my line. And so I'm sitting there and then I'm walking through the crowd and it like I've done my dues of being an extra, right? I've been in the extra like in every single thing in Atlanta. And so for me to walk through the crowd, they're looking at me like, who's this guy? Is this guy famous? I was like, yeah. Step aside. The new hotness is walking through. And then I walk over, go there, and then the director's like, actually you need a girl in your arm. And he's like, oh, you. hey, come here real quick. Okay, so you're his date. She comes over, looked to my left. I'm like,
Yeah, was she
what's
pretty?
up? What's up? Like this. I was like, and she looked at me. She's like, and like I just saw from the other side was like how she thought like maybe I was famous or like it's just like that almost that status. And I could have told her like, hey, let's move to Mexico tomorrow. She'd be like, okay. Like so I was like, that's crazy. But back to the thing. So like when we did the line, they said, okay, rolling, and then this is a production. It's a multi-cam, and so there's like multiple cameras in the studio that are filming from different angles at the same time. And they said action, and then they walk in. The actors walk in. Did my very first scene ever, and they're like, come in. She's like, yeah, it's been great. And I look at her. I'm like, and the director's like, cut! He's like, you gotta say your effing line. I was like, oh, my bad. I didn't hear you say action. I was trying to play it off. And you understand, when they said the action thing, like, I wasn't nervous, and it just started here. It just went over. I wasn't in acting school at the time. I probably would have gotten those flutters if I did that stuff. But when the second time, we knocked it out and did a great job. And after that, but that was how I did my very first thing. I forgot everything. I felt like a...
And I know them directors be cussing at you and all of that. So let's stick around, y'all. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio.
2.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back.
That's some good music.
Listen, I appreciate y'all sticking around because this is so exciting because number one, y'all know I'm usually talking about artificial intelligence. I'm talking about business. The thing is, I'm still talking about artificial intelligence and I'm still talking about business. And I have one of my greatest friends next to me.
Yeah.
Hollywood. So we're sharing some stories. He's been really giving us the 411. So everybody can break into acting if you so choose. Now let's talk about the bodies. How you staying in shape for these auditions and all of that stuff?
Man, I feel like I've blown up a little bit. That's why I started going back to Keefa's gym. I got to lose a few pounds, but I'm like dad bod's in, right?
Yeah, but you don't have a dad bod.
Yeah, no. But I hold myself to the standard of what Hollywood is. Because like Hollywood is, you're the average Joe. When you take your shirt off, you better have a 6-pack ab. And if you don't, on TV, you're like what's going on? You see these superhero movies?
Yeah, but you know what? Is it CGI or is it?
It's called trim.
Yeah, so this is the thing. I'm glad we're talking about this because, you know, when I'm watching movies, I'm always
you can't bulk up like that in
body.
3-4 months now.
That's true.
It's just like you can't do that. And like
that's true.
We work out all the time. We're both really strong people.
Yeah.
Strong. You can't do
and
that.
It takes time. See, so that's the one thing we know. That's why I used the movie 300 as an example. All of those actors that were in 300, they shredded up for that movie, but none of them maintained it after the movie. Even Gerard Butler, he tried for a little bit. But the thing is, when you have real foundational strength, it takes time to build that up. And what they do in Hollywood, the quick shred, that's not real foundational strength. And so that is why after the movie production wraps and they go back to their regular life, they lose it because number one, that wasn't their regular life before. Number two, when it's foundational, like for example, when you have people who competitively lift, do Olympic lifting or whatever, or they're bodybuilders. Oh, and this is a great example. Remember in the day before and after pictures when they were selling like Denegrin, hydroxy cut, all of that stuff?
Yeah.
You already know.
You want to hear a story about that?
Yes.
Oh, real quick. Oh man, I get choked. I don't even care. It's so long ago. So my roommate. Oh my goodness. So we're balling on a budget. Like everyone thought we were loaded. It was, man.
Well, you look like you're loaded.
We made
your face looks like like you got money.
I'm talking like, oh yeah, it's that face. Look, got $100. Like
it's the Hollywood face.
Yeah, it's the Hollywood look. Everyone's like, he doesn't need money. I'm like, no, for real though. Like, you help me out, help the brother out. But we went there. And so like any gigs that came out, we would always try to become the people to be the gigs. And so they had a hydroxy cut casting. And I remember we went to In-N-Out the day before. And like we were really like pretty in shape guys. We ate for an entire week straight, just as much hamburgers as we could. We went in. I didn't get it, but my roommate Justin got the hydroxy cut. And he was the guy on Abercrombie. He was the guy who worked in Gilly.
Yeah,
he was the guy who he stood in front of. That's where we met actually at Abercrombie. Stood in the front without the shirts, being the
and you had to. I remember they got sued. Remember Abercrombie got sued about that.
That's a whole other story. And I got a check for that too. That's a random check I got. It was like $100 if you show up to court. I'm like, I don't want that. That's so dumb. But anyway, we got and I remember we did the before photos, and Justin's like this, like sticking it out as
blow the belly out. That's right.
As much he drank probably 2 gallons of water that day, and then blowing the belly out. He got it, and then they did the after photo, and he was the after photo in 1 week.
See, and that's my point. So my point is, when you're already in shape, it's easy to go and do a before picture because you eat for a few days, whatever, for a week. But then when it's real, then you can go back in 30 days later, 2 weeks later, 1 week, whatever it is, and show your real body. That can only happen. If you were in shape to begin with. That's how you know it was all fake.
So it's basically like you're saying, I've always lived by this motto, like quick and quick. All right, that's what quick and quick is. When you have friends and it happens quick, and your BFFs, it usually dies real quick.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
And when it dies real quick,
Relationships.
whenever
Yep.
when you get in shape real quick and you do that stuff, you usually get back to where you used to be pretty quick.
Quick and quick.
But when you have a friendship and it's slow. It's slow. You take your time. Those are the friendships that last a lifetime.
Yeah.
And it comes from your fitness routine. When you start slow and you're slow
Yep.
and steady, that wins the race. And it'll be
Always.
something that happens. And when you get in that shape, you're not going to get out of shape in one day,
Exactly.
1 week, 2 months. It's going to take a consistent of eating bad for 6-8 months to lose it.
That's right. That's you're so right. And see, this is what we say, and because we have such a long history together, especially actually not just working out, but just friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fact that fitness mimics real life. I always say that. I'll always say how you do your workouts and your fitness routine is how you do your real life. So even when you're trying to pretend like you're killing it and you're trying your hardest in the gym, I always know the difference. I always know that. I know when people are faking and they trying to breathe hard and pretend like they're doing the best they can. Right. Yes.
You've done 2 reps.
You've done 2 reps. Just because you're sweating don't mean you're working to your capacity. But that is the reality. When people lose weight quick, they gain it back quick. So all of the folks, all of the Holly weirdos that's on Ozempic, see, this is what I'll be talking about.
The what?
The Ozempic and the Mounjaro, the diabetes drug where they're losing weight.
I'm glad I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
You see, good. But so
Me-
all of the folks in Hollywood that's using those drugs to get in shape, and in Hollywood, a lot of them are not claiming it. They're not claiming they on it, but it's obvious they on it because their heads is big and their bodies then got real skinny. That's classic Ozempic, Mounjaro. The thing is, when they lose all of that weight, it's going to come back with a vengeance when they get off that drug. So either they're going to be stuck always on that drug, and the downside of that is this, with the human body, if you put something in your body that isn't naturally manufactured in your body will stop manufacturing it. So whatever the thing is that causes that result, your body won't ever produce it.
Preach it. I'm telling you that I am so on board with what you're saying. That's how I've lived my life. Anything you take, there's always a cause and effect.
That's right.
Whether they know what it is, because you could get there's this new pill. Let's just say, there's always a new thing. Let's say the new thing is, I don't know, algae. Algae is the new dietary pill you need to take.
Yeah.
Algae from Cambodia, the regular
Cambodian algae.
Like that's the thing you got to have now, right? And I'm making this up. Well, you take that stuff. If you take that Cambodian algae and you get to where you want, great, fantastic.
That's right.
But how do you know 6 months from now you're not going to have some kind of thyroid disease? How do you know
They
2
don't.
years from now? They don't. And then when they do these studies, 5 years later, like, have you ever taken Cambodian algae? Call
Yeah.
Morgan for the thing. You're like, what?
That's right. Like bladder mesh.
That's crazy. That's great. Bladder mesh.
I'm saying,
What?
you're going to have them lawyers that specialize in bladder mesh. When you took that drug,
You got to tell me what bladder mesh is.
I'm saying, it's just a commercial. I've heard lawyers say, if you had, where your mesh is broke. So I think people with bladder issues back in the day, they would go in and they would do something with the mesh so that their bladders didn't leak. But the mesh failed.
Okay.
Or it caused cancer, or it did something that it wasn't supposed to do, but they didn't know it at the time.
Well, dang.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Did you know that, Nelson? I didn't know.
Well, so
I
I'm
don't even
saying
know what the mesh
it's
is,
a
to be
lot
honest
of
with
things. It is I know that I have mesh from a hernia repair.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same.
So is mesh like that, the lining or something? Is that what that is?
No, it's like, imagine a screen, like
Okay, like a
a front
mesh.
door,
Okay.
like a front door screen. It's mesh, except instead of it being like inorganic material, it's organic material. And what happens is your actual tissue forms scar tissue throughout the mesh. And that is how the repair is supposed to be.
Okay.
Unbreakable. It's supposed to be stronger than your regular just muscles.
I know that. Well, it's
Yeah.
something new every day. So you
Yeah.
gotta tune in.
But back in the day, they were using a different type of mesh
Mhm.
for bladder repair. Or not really bladder repair, but people who had weak bladders.
Yeah.
The mesh would help them stop from leaking.
Okay, so like that medical procedure, that was
Yes,
the thing to do back
that
then.
was the thing to do.
And now
but
they have
that
this
mesh,
can
yeah,
cause
it turned out exactly.
terrifying. That's terrifying.
Exactly.
So basically, what we're saying is when they come out with the new medical stuff, be wary.
Be wary, but you know what? It shows. See, I think that the fact that so many people are taking these drugs now and they don't have diabetes, I think it proves to the point that in America, in the United States, people don't care about the risk more than they care about how they look physically.
You know, it doesn't make sense to me, and this sounds terrible to say probably, but I'm gonna say it. When you like, why can't you just control your eating? Like I know it's tough to control it. Like hamburger, like I want to eat hamburgers every day. I want to eat fries. Like when I see a French fry from McDonald's, I'm actually like my mouth is watering right now. Like it tastes so good, I want it. But I'm like tomorrow, I know when I wake up, I'm gonna be like, man, why did I eat that French fry?
Yeah.
And I saw this podcast or another podcast, not as good as yours, of course, but his name was Jocko, and he said discipline equals freedom.
That's right.
And I'm like, okay, so I want the freedom of being able to like take my shirt off and feel confident. It's going to take discipline. And so if I'm going to try to bypass that discipline and, I don't know, inject myself with something, there's always going to be that effect that's going to probably
and you don't build up the discipline.
That's true. Discipline, and that's going to be lifelong.
So look, you guys, now this is near and dear too. We're talking fitness, we're talking great bodies, good bodies, bad bodies, however you want to look at it on Savage Talk with Keefa. We'll be right back after the break.
I should ask, what kind of I did. You can copy too.
What's up, y'all? Savage Talk with Keefa is back. And I'm here with my special guest, Israel Hollywood. And I know he's got an audition he's got to go to, but
ASMR.
that's right. But before he goes, Hollywood,
Yes, ma'am.
if now I know I'm a master's, but if I wanted to be
Okay.
on the cover of a Nerf gun,
Okay.
a Nerf gun box, or any toy box,
Nerf gun.
any type of box
Okay.
of something that's sold,
Okay.
what should I do?
Okay. So this is what I would do, step by step. Okay. First, I would go over and I would get a recommendation for a headshot photographer. And there's two different types of photographers out there. There's theatrical photographers, and then there's actual commercial photographers. They're going to be two different types. Get a commercial photography. You're going to get the headshot. You can take that headshot and you're going to submit to one of those big agencies or boutique agencies local to Atlanta.
Okay, gotta be local. It should be local.
And you'll go to the website and they'll tell you there's submission instructions. And there's some people want you to mail it, some people want you to email it. So you just follow how they want it. Don't knock on their door, because that's a way that they really get it's not good.
I hate
they don't like
knocking
that.
On my door.
They don't like that.
They
don't like that. Yeah. Like no one likes that. And then after you do that, they're gonna call you and they're gonna say, hey, we would actually love for you to come in. And then they'll meet you and they'll see if there's that synergy between y'all. And if it is, they'll bring out a contract probably the next day. You'll sign it, and the signature basically says that when you get a commercial, they're going to get the check, and they're going to take 20% off that, and then you get the rest. And then as soon as that happens, they're like, then it's radio silent. Then you're going to get that call when you least expect it, saying, "Hey, Keefa, we want you to be in for these for
Aspercreme.
For Aspercreme. Aspercreme's having an audition, and they picked you, and they want you to go in. You're going to go in. You're going to do your thing.
Because you know I am.
You're going to do your thing. You're going to rub that cream on. And
smack.
And when they see you rub that cream on, you know they're going to book you.
I know.
And then they're going to call your agent the next day, and they're going to say, hey, we want to book Keefa for this. Is she available? And then your agent will say, congratulations, you got the job. You'll be working in 2 weeks.
So y'all heard it. He outlined the steps that I'm going to take to get my arthritis cream commercial career started. Okay, y'all heard it first. I'm making a commitment to everybody that's listening. This is what's going down. So Hollywood, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, you guys, thank y'all for listening. Hollywood's got to get out. He's got to go to his audition. Yep. I cannot wait. Make sure y'all send him great energy so that he gets this role, because when it comes red carpet time, y'all know 101 TKO Radio will be in the building. We're going to be the first to interview. Okay, so if they trying to kick us out, we're not having it. Okay, we're going to be the first ones to interview.
I will give you my word. I will be here for my very first interview ever when I make it.
Y'all heard it here first. It's coming, and we are actually manifesting this. Right now. Well, thank you, Hollywood. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to continue with the show. I got some great things to talk about. So look, you guys, I talked about this on Tuesday. So when we come back after this break, I'm going to let you guys, I am going to take you from start to finish. Fani Willis, Nathan Wade. When we come back, Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. Oh my God. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up? Savage Talk with Keefa is back. I hope you guys enjoyed my special guest as much as I did. So now we are moving on to another segment. Fani Willis, Nathan Wade. If you have been keeping up with this saga, let me tell y'all, it's good. Y'all know Fulton County is the talk of the United States. How do I know? Because all my Cali friends is like, what's going on in Atlanta? It's like a Bravo show without the Bravo show, but it's real life. That's what's so funny, y'all. This stuff, you can't make this stuff up. This is not a storyline on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. In fact, it's better than every storyline that's been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And this is real life. And let me tell you guys why I love it. We're talking about smart people, y'all. Politicians doing what regular, non-smart people is doing. So here's the latest. Let me break it down. So Fani Willis, district attorney for Fulton County, she brought these charges against Donald Trump, having to do with the voter fraud, all of that stuff. She brought those charges against Donald Trump. And at some point, she appointed attorney Nathan Wade. Now, why is the timeline important? Well, the timeline is important because when she appointed Nathan Wade, if they were in a relationship at the time she appointed Nathan Wade, there could be speculation that she might gain financially from appointing him. You know, like kickbacks. I'm going to put you on this case, and when we win and you get all the notoriety and your office grows, what have you, you're going to give me a kickback. I'm not saying that happened, but I'm giving you an example of why it is problematic. That's one reason. Number two, Nathan Wade was a married man. Now, in regular people life, if you're not a politician, that stuff, it may not matter. But see, when you are you're responsible for representing Fulton County, bringing charges against Donald Trump, who is running for president, there cannot be anything that even looks remotely like misconduct. Now, Nathan Wade was married. And the reason why that's important is because I talked about this on Tuesday. I talked about the gray area in relationships. You guys remember that? I talked about the gray area. And what did I say? I said in the gray area, that's where bad stuff happens. Most of the things that happen in the gray area are bad. So, although he says that him and his wife were separated, he says they were legally separated. I don't know if, how true it is that if a paper was filed to say they legally separated. What's the point of legally separating instead of divorcing? But this is why I make the distinction, because if he was still married and him and Fani Willis were dating in 2019, because she said it didn't happen until 2022. She said they started dating after she appointed him. The reason why it's important, if that's true, that means that when she appointed him, there was no relationship. So it couldn't be misconduct, because she wasn't thinking that, I'm going to get a kickback, I have anything to gain. But if it actually is proven that before 2019, when she brought the charges against Donald Trump, that they were dating, that's going to be problematic. Now, fast forward to today, Fani Willis's ex-friend, ex-roommate, or whatever you want to call it, had been subpoenaed, and she testified that, yes, she saw with her own eyes they were in a relationship in 2019. Now, This, y'all, what I'm about to tell y'all is the problem with the American justice system. This right here. Semantics matters. Semantics matters. Why am I saying that? Okay, well, I'm the one always talking about relationships. Your business, your teachers, your children, you're in relationships. Your life is really just relationships. So, yes, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade could have been in a relationship as friends. So, verbiage is important. If a lawyer puts me on the stand and asks me, did you have a relationship with Nathan Wade? I'm going to say yes, but it was not romantic. You see what I'm saying? So verbiage and how this case is positioned, semantics, the words that we use are important. So this is what I think, you guys. This is what I'm thinking. I think that Nathan, number one, him and his wife should have got divorced in 2015. I don't believe in any legal separation. They should have just got divorced, because this is what I think happened. Nathan Wade says for all intents and purposes, he was living his life as a single man. That never flies with me if you're not actually divorced. And this is the reason why. If you out there, you're not divorced, you going out with somebody, you spending money on this new person. Meanwhile, you still have a resentful ex-wife, or not ex at the time. She's the ex-wife now. But you have somebody in the background that feels like something is owed to them. You got a problem. Because here we are 10 years later, almost 10 years later. See, now, if the ex-wife, who was not the ex at the time, if she felt like she was owed something, what better way to get it than to go to one of Donald Trump's lawyers and say, look, my ex-husband at the time, he was out there, he was going out with Fani Willis before she appointed him to the case. They was dating. And this is how I know it, because we was married. He was supposed to be paying me XYZ. And I didn't get it. And so I did a little check-in, and I see he had been spending money on Fani, and they was doing this and that. All of these things come into play, because all it took was that one thing. And then Donald Trump's lawyers, that gave them the ability to say, okay, we need to subpoena this person, that person, and other people connected to the case that can actually, they can corroborate or refute what Nathan and Fani are saying. We need to know, we need to get somebody subpoenaed that can testify to them having a relationship before his appointment in 2019. And ironically, the day after Nathan Willis got appointed to the Donald Trump case, a day later, he filed for divorce. See, so now all of these things that could be purely coincidental, now they look like, this might be suspect. And that gives grounds to continue finding people who can corroborate stories, i.e. the ex-roommate or ex-friend of Fani Willis. So do you guys see? This is important because, in my opinion, Fani, she's going to get removed from the case. Same thing with Nathan. And you know what? That's going to be the best thing for them. And let me tell you why. Because your average person, and I consider myself an average person, see, I want to know more about the relationship and what was going on than I want to know about what they're doing with this Donald Trump case. Because Donald Trump is going to end up being elected president, and it doesn't matter what charges is brought against him. He's gonna pardon himself. He's gonna pardon himself. He's got the balls to do it, and that's exactly what he's gonna do because he doesn't believe he's guilty of anything. So Fani and Nathan, they need to go ahead and start their own reality show, open their own firm, because we're interested. We want to know what was going on between them, the ex-wife, and the roommate. That's a reality show. I don't care about all the other stuff because we already know it's politics. It's politics, y'all. So listen, this is why this is important to know all of these things. This is exactly why it's important to know all these things. So I hope you are tuning in, you guys. I can write this story. But the great thing is I don't have to write nothing. We don't even need AI for this. AI could not create a story this good and this salacious. Okay, I've heard the word nefarious used. I wouldn't say Fani and Nathan had evil intentions. But you know what? I'm going to talk about what I think actually occurred, okay? But I want you guys to stick around. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, and I'm going to tell you what I think happened. Savage Talk with Keefa, 101 TKO Radio.
Adopt US Kids presents
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back, and we're heading into our final stretch. Listen, y'all. Is Fani Willis lying? Is she lying? Is Nathan lying? Is the ex-roommate, ex-friend lying? Is Donald Trump lying? I mean, is anybody telling the truth and the whole truth? No. See, our justice system is jacked up because it really has not so much to do with who's telling the truth and the whole truth, but it really is just about who's got the most ingenious lawyers to come up with the most harebrained ideas, who's willing to get out there and do crazy stuff. But look, before the break, I was saying, when we come back, I'm going to tell y'all my take on something really, really important. Now, I've talked about the gray areas, and I've talked about bad things happening in the gray areas. So this is my belief. It's my belief that, number one, Fani and Nathan, they had no idea it really was going to get this far. They really didn't. I don't think they had any idea it was going to get this far. But the biggest thing, Nathan Wade, in 2015, when him and his now ex-wife, when they decided that it wasn't going to work the way they thought it was going to work, he said she cheated. It's my belief that Nathan Wade, he really truly believed he was living his life as a single man. And some of you guys can probably relate to this. Okay, because I've had this situation too. You ever dated somebody, and I've been on both sides. This is why I'm speaking from experience. If you are dating someone who is not actually divorced and they're still married or they're separated and living their life as a single person, that is their perspective of what's going on, okay? Like, you can date a man that says he's been separated from his wife for 10 years, but they never actually got divorced. They just, they can be in different states or whatever. But see, what happened is, now this is my opinion, Nathan Wade moved on. He was living his life as a single man, dating and doing what he wanted to do. But that's all on his side. There is, when you are not divorced, there is a whole nother side that exists. And that person may feel a totally different way than Nathan Wade feels or than you feel. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the reason why that's important is because if you're the person that says we're separated, I got my life, he got his life. If you're the person that says that and you've moved on, but you haven't divorced, it's likely in your blind spot that you truly, even for the universal purposes, you cannot live your life as a single person when you are not single. That means if you are not divorced, you can't live your life as a single person. Regardless how you feel, regardless what you say, you are not a single person. And so there is a whole nother set of feelings that belong to somebody who you're still connected to in the universe. You are still connected. Your energies are still connected. Even if it's negative energy, there is still a connection there. And the reason why that is important is because, see, you cannot realize your blessings when you're trying to do something that way. You cannot, and you will not. So what's happening is, this is my opinion. What's happening is the universe See, the universe is causing Fani and Nathan to bring their truths to the forefront. Remember when I say that you manifest what you want for your life. You manifest that. But you only manifest what's for you when you're being authentic and transparent. Because see, the universe is going to respond to what's authentic. And it's my opinion that Nathan and Fani, they really had a thing for each other and probably still do. Even though he says it was over in July last year or June last year, whatever it was. See, the universe spoke and caused them to bring forth the truth. And so now Judge McAfee has got to decide what the truth is. What is the truth? So this is the thing that was in both of their blind spots. And the reason we know it was in their blind spots is because if they knew that this was going to come up at this stage in the game, they would have did things differently. I'm not saying they wouldn't have dated each other, but they would have been a lot more transparent in when they started dating, and the nature of their relationship. This is how you know they didn't know this was going to happen. And this is why you cannot discount the other person that's on the other side of the, oh, we living our lives like single because we're not together no more. You can't discount what that person is feeling, what they're thinking. Because while you're out here saying, I live my life as a single person, we haven't been together in however many years, that person has an entirely different way of understanding the nature of y'all's relationship. Really, they have an entire different perspective of the nature of the relationship. And as a result, that is what started the mess rolling downhill. The wife. So this was in their blind spot, and the universe is calling them to speak their truth. Now, what's going to happen when they both get thrown off the case? Are they just going to come out and be with each other? I want to know, is that what y'all would want to see? Like, to tell you the truth, I would love to see them together. I really would. I would love to see them together because they are two beautiful, powerful people in Atlanta, Fulton County, at young black love. Who don't want to see that? Really. And then most importantly, I want to hear the pillow talk. I want to know what they're talking about when this is all said and done. I want to know what their thoughts were while going through it. And I want to know what their thoughts are after it. When we see them, on a boat, on a yacht in the Caribbean together, like TJ Holmes and what was that other lady he cheated with? Like, it was crazy because the husbands, they cheated with different girls, like, but they got with each other. So TJ Holmes, CNN, y'all know what I'm talking about? I don't remember the lady's name, but they were cheating with each other and their spouses. Yeah. So I would love to see Fani Willis and Nathan Wade go ahead and live their life because they gonna get thrown off the case. So just go ahead and, let that sink in. They're going to get thrown off the case. So the best case scenario at this point is to salvage their love relationship. If it's true, if it's real love. And I feel like they have a shot at it because you know what? It ain't nothing like being thrown in the fire together to build up the fortitude and to actually gather the discernment to know if y'all's relationship is real, if it's worth being together, if it's got a strong enough foundation that it can last through the trials and tribulations. Like for real, and not just talking about it. We're talking about being about it. Because Fani and Nathan, they're in the hot seat. They're in the hot seat. And I don't even know if at this point, they probably can't even talk to each other. They're being interrogated. Of course, they don't call it interrogations, but you know how those lawyers be. So I would love for them, when they both get thrown off the case, to just come out and say, look, y'all, this is what it is. We love each other. We didn't have any misconduct. The charges we brought against Trump was all legit. But unfortunately, our justice system wanted to focus on the relationship we had. And they painted a narrative of misconduct, even when there was no misconduct there. The truth is, two grown people fell in love with each other. And it just happened to be at the same time as we were prosecuting Donald J. Trumpy. Yeah, Trumpy. Sometimes I call him Trumpy, Dumpy Trumpy. So the thing is, who doesn't want to see them win? Like, really, I almost feel like it's an OJ trial. Like, I need to see them win after they get thrown off the case, because I know that's coming. However, I am really hoping, because the judge seems like he does have some sense, I am hoping that even when he throws them off the case, he understands the magnitude of the charges and they must go on. So even though Fulton County is going to have to foot the bill, we need someone else on the case. So look, y'all, don't stop rooting for Fani and Nathan. Okay? They did the thing. They had the gumption to bring these charges against Trump. So we're rooting for them. I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. You've been listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on only the dopest radio show, 101 TKO Radio, where we knock them out the box always and always. So until next week, I'm on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So until next Tuesday, you guys, I love y'all. Thanks for giving me your ear. And I am your host, Keefa, and I'm out.